Sometimes you have to go to the birds and not have the birds presented to you. It's a very different type of game shooting, more of a hunt. Paul Childerley runs walked-up days on his ground in Bedfordshire. The safety briefing is even more important on a day like this. Much of what the guns do is reaction shooting, quick windows of sky and fast mounts. There is a lot to consider when a bird flushes, most importantly where your neighbour is. Paul is a big fan of this style of shooting.
It's a day where you're not doing the traditional driven stuff, and it's you don't know quite where the bird's going to get up from, and you're doing a variation of species as well, which is quite good. Different species you can shoot during the day, and it's quite a nice relaxed day as well. It's not like formal as a driven day, so everyone's quite nice and relaxed, and you have to earn your quarry in a sense. You have to work hard for it, and that's what people do actually quite like, the reward of what they shot at the end of it.
Paul also runs a traditional driven shoot. He finds that the two kinds of day work hand in hand.
It works quite well actually, because early season you do a lot of boundary days, so pushing birds back in from the boundaries, which is great, because they're the ones that you probably wouldn't actually get in the bag and wouldn't get them onto the percentage for the end of the year, so that works really well. Also, it's you've got a bit of area where you want to try a drive or just give the birds a bit of a stir up. Same again really. You can go and give them a bit of a push around and see how they go and see they go off that area.
Saying all that, at one of the first spots, he sticks the guns out driven style. He and Scott push through the cover.
First one out, it's got back going, isn't it? 3 for 4, nice high birds. I like that.
There's some success, but now it's time to build up an appetite. As well as woodland, there is the odd natural pond. We spread out for the flush. This one adds to the species list. The woodcock are going to be harder to account for, and the muntjac are definitely off limit, but squirrels are fair game. Mike Young shoots all over the world, so what's the appeal of a walked-up day?
It's a bit different. It's great fun, a really good way of spending time with friends, and very challenging. I mean, it looks easy sometimes, these sort of birds that get up in front of you and fly away, but actually they're very difficult, very different from what it is when you're standing on a peg and having birds driven over you. So yeah, it's a variety, and it's much more interactive. You feel like you're hunting, you feel like you're involved in the process, and you see the birds get up, you see them move away, and you hopefully bring a few down.
The dogs work incredibly hard and just don't stop. However, we do stop for an enjoyable lunch. Homemade bread brought by one of the guns contributes to a shoot that people have a strong personal investment in. So far the bag is not bursting, but we have some plantation and woodland that will change all that. It's rough shooting and pretty rough filming by our man on the ground, who needs to throw that camera around as fast as he can to get those birds in frame. As we leave the last drive, there is a spot of bother. We promised to spare the driver's blushes by blobbing the number plate. Oh, it's that easy, is it? Moving on swiftly, as long as you're not stuck in the mud, we have had a thoroughly chilled out but brilliant day's sport. Plus, we got some exercise. Go on, Mike. How much exercise?
How many miles you walked today?
Apparently 7, which is, yeah, good. My wife would like to hear that.
So, if you want to tell your partner that you've given up your boxer size and body pump for some walked up, drop Paul a line via childerleysporting.co.uk.